I didn't really know who to reach out to, because I know Keesha was like, well, y'all can reach out to both of us. Okay, well, I reached out to Jayla and I didn't hear anything besides crickets.
Money coming, money go. I've been at it on the low. Trapping out of where I live. I keep seeing the leaders doing this. We talking plans and maybe seeing you. Pull up on you, let me scoop. Nobody here but me and you. Got a little ring to it, turn that thing fluid in the coupe. Way you look, I know it's real. I'm on my Marshawn shit. I been really getting feel. You know why I'm here. Don't act like you don't know how I feel. But let me tell you what you mean to me. Slide on me for that meet and greet. Vibe with me under moonshine, sipping moonshine to the new sky. Say it's toasted and be raised.
Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel, and this is your girl, the Glam Empress, and I am here with a video that I typically don't do. I don't sit down and I don't chat with you guys enough, but your girl has some time today. My makeup is already done, so why not sit down and tell you guys a little bit about my experience with taking Jayla Koriyan and Keesha Kaylee's mentor class. And if you guys want to hear more about my experience, my thoughts, some pros, some cons, continue watching this video, you guys, because we are going to get into it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to join the family. All right, you guys, so just starting off, anybody who knows me personally and not personally knows that I love Jayla Koriyan. I have a story about why I love Jayla Koriyan, but it won't be in this video. But everybody who knows me or who is associated with me knows that I love her. I've been following her for years. I admire her, and she's definitely someone that I look up to. And I have taken, this is my third course that I've taken with her. And her first course, which was the YouTube Hustle program, I took that, I want to say, was that last, no, it was not last year. It was, I want to say 2019. And then I did take her YouTube Hustle course the end of 2020, and then I took her GlowUp mentorship program that had Keesha Kaylee just recently, you guys, and our last class was held this past Tuesday. So I figured, why not, this would be a great time to sit down and talk about the experience, since I never really did a review on her past class. But I figured this would be a great time to talk about this class, since I had the pleasure of meeting Keesha and Jayla, two very influential women. If you guys see me looking at my phone, it's because I'm trying to, you know, go back and tell you guys exactly what we did. But pretty much it was a course that we took, and it was for 30 days. It was $99, and for the 4 weeks that we took the mentorship program, they had us do 2 classes a week. So on Tuesday and Thursday, class was held. Typically on Tuesday, that's when we had a guest speaker, and then on Thursday, that's when Jayla and Keesha would hold the class. So the first week, which was, it started on May the 5th, and it was a Thursday, and that was the reinventing yourself on social media. So pretty much they are helping us with our YouTube platforms and our Instagram platforms, and, you know, of course, making our social media presence strong. So y'all, when I tell y'all they tore us up on Thursday, especially that Keesha, she gonna tell it to you straight, no chaser. She was like, and I don't even mean to laugh because it's not funny, because they genuinely cared about their girls. But she was like, y'all Instagrams look cheap. She was like, y'all taking pictures in the closet, y'all taking pictures. She was like, the pictures don't look advertising. Jayla was like, y'all was tearing it up in the emails was trash. And if I was a brand, I wouldn't want to be writing big booty girl hot 10 on the pole at gmail.com. Like, she was just, they was, but I mean, this is things that we needed to hear, because a lot, yeah, it's our business that we're growing, but we still have to have a professional social media presence for brands to take us serious. We can't use the same things, or like a personal Instagram and all this other type of stuff. We had to build ourselves up professionally, and essentially that's what they was trying to tell us. Like, we had a lot of work to do, and it was even down to the usernames that we had on Instagram. So pretty much the first class, they just kind of went through a lot of what they saw, and they wanted us to clean it up. Again, we are reinventing ourselves on social media to make it look polished and to give a professional outlook. After they tore us a new one on Thursday, and you know, but pretty much, you know, like they did it in a nice way, of course, but they were serious. They then introduced, you know, how we be doing challenges every week. So this week's challenge, because of course with social media you gotta be consistent, and you have to, the new wave now, y'all, is these daggone reels. I mean, these reels, and it's like the most simplest, easiest, hardest thing to do. And for me, it's more so with reels, you want to post something every day. Like, that people are paying big money just for short content. Why? Because we all have short attention spans. I know my attention span is short. You could tell me something and then it go in one ear and out the other. I promise you that. So anything short is what's really booming and banging nowadays. So they wanted us to do photos, and I think it was 2 photos for week 1 and then 1 reel, and we had to do like the it girl reel. And y'all, when they showed us the reel we had to do, I'm looking like, so I'll post up here kind of an example of the reel that we have to do, but I can tell y'all the reel that I did was trash. And but as far as the photos and stuff like that, you know, they taught us about how we need to take our own photos, what type of equipment that we needed to have, and also different editing apps that we need to have as well to make our photos polished. Because a lot of influencers, at least a lot of influencers that I follow, they all take their own photos, because for one, with these brands, the turnaround time got to be quick. So you always got to be pumping out content, you always got to be uploading something, you always got to stay relevant. And this challenge definitely strengthened a nerve for me, because for one, I'm already kind of pumping out content on a consistent basis, but as far as a reel and photos and YouTube videos all in 1 week and all in 1 day, that was tough. And again, with the reels, for me, like, it's easier for me to do cooking reels, because that's something that I do every day. I mean, I eat every day, so it's like it was easy for me to do cooking reels. But with this it girl one, it was a little bit difficult for me, I'm not gonna lie. So they wanted us to do that for week 1, and then the following week, of course, they will be looking at everyone's content and everything. As far as that, so I'm not sure how many girls exactly was in the mentorship program, but it was definitely over 100, and I don't know who was active, who wasn't active, but they wanted us to put all of our when we uploaded content, they wanted us to pretty much put a hashtag, Influcerglowup Hashtag, for everything. Now, it was a lot of girls, and it was a lot of girls who were determined, who was ambitious, who really wanted it, including me, myself. So again, I don't know how many girls was in this class, but the Influcerglowup hashtag, it was like it just kept scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. Some people was doing 4 photos, some people was doing 2 reels, some people was doing this, some people was doing that. So it was like a lot of people were, I mean, essentially that's what you want to do. You want to overachieve, you want to overproduce content. However, I feel as though with all this going on and on one hashtag, I don't really know if Keesha and Jayla was looking at everybody, like every single person in their class. I don't know if they was really looking at everybody's content, because I know for me, I feel as though I got overlooked. I'm not sure if any other girls felt like that, but I just felt like it was a handful of girls that, you know, kind of got looked at. I don't know if their views, they talked about, you know, oh well, her reel did get a lot of views and da 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 da. But so that was the kind of thing that kind of, it was just like you can't really win for losing, because it's just so many girls in the class and everybody wants to be seen, of course, because we signed up for this. And I know Jayla, I mean not Jayla, but Keesha said a couple of times in the class, she was like, it's a lot of y'all, it's a lot of y'all, it's a lot of y'all. But I mean, we all signed up for it just like they signed up for it, but and we all want to do good just like they want us to do good. But I'm not sure how they went about looking at everyone's content to see if people were really growing, because it was 100 to 2. The ratio was like over 100 to 2. So I'm not really sure about that. But each week it was, you know, a winner or a couple of winners depending on, I guess, where the strong point was. So I know during the first week, Keesha and Jayla both chose, I want to say it was either 3 girls. It was either 3 girls or 4 girls. I'm not sure. I don't remember. But Keesha and Jayla both chose girls that they felt like reinvented themselves, or who was doing good, or who had the most views, or whatever the case may be. So that was for week 1. And then also that following Tuesday, we had our financial literacy class for entrepreneurs. And because I did take Jayla's class 2 times before, a lot of this stuff I already had heard because I've been in her classes. But again, I like to take these classes, and of course it was an added bonus because Keesha was in the class, so you get to hear 2 different perspectives. You get to see how each of these girls have ran their business, what worked for them, what didn't work, or what have you. But it was definitely good to have both ladies in the class, because for one, they're both very, very successful, and they had different ways of going about their success. So it may be some things that Keesha did that Jayla didn't do. So it kind of just helped strengthen the program a whole lot, just having 2 brain powers. So they did have their financial literacy class on Tuesday, and I forgot the young lady name who did the class, but she was sharp. She knew her stuff. She knew it. And then if she didn't, she'd be like, listen child, you're gonna have to find you a lawyer, entertainment lawyer, or whatever the case may be. But as far as taxes and what you can write off, and different entities under your business, and things you can charge to the business, and things that you don't charge for the business, like she knew her stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, I want to say she's the same girl who did Jayla's other class, and she actually gave us a downloadable like printout of everything that we can write off to our business, which was extremely helpful, because you can in this business you can damn near write off anything, which I personally have. Now what they don't tell you is you're not getting a dollar for dollar amount back. What you spent in whatever year, you're not getting that same amount back. But as far as building business history and business credit, all of that is good information to know. So the financial literacy class was definitely very, very powerful. It was very, very important, and it was good to ask questions. Jayla and Keesha was always on these lives, and even Jayla was answering our questions as well. If we had some, like, if we wanted to hear like an influencer standpoint on what they did personally. So that class was definitely very good. And I always, anything financial, you got to stay on top of your coins. Like you just, especially when you're doing this on your own. And with me, I personally track all of my finances using the Excel sheet. Each year I've gotten better and better. Well, I've only done it for 2 years, but each year I've gotten better and better. I file all my receipts to different folders. I have an Excel sheet. I do have an accountant that helps me as well, because it's a lot, you guys. And when it comes to your business, it's your baby, and you have to have your hand on it at every single part of the business, whether you have multiple business or what have you. Like, you have to just have your hand and your nose and everything. And having an accountant is definitely very, very ideal and important if you can have one. Thursday, which we're in the second week now, again, they chose their winners, and then we talked about the how to beat the YouTube algorithm. Or sorry, they chose their winners after we talked about how to beat the YouTube algorithm. So with the YouTube algorithm, I was very invested in this because I'm very consistent on my YouTube, and I tried to do different content on my YouTube that will fulfill the beauty category, the lifestyle category, and the fashion category. And I was very, very in tune, because with my hauls get all the love. Y'all just love your girl spending money. Y'all just love it. Y'all love me spending my money, so y'all don't have to go spend your money. But no, I'm just playing, y'all. But my hauls, for real, like, they get a lot of love. And it's like, I'm really trying to do everything on my channel, because essentially everything that you see on my channel is what I love to do. So I'm trying to figure out, you know, how to boost my views on this category, and how to get more subscribers, you know, genuine subscribers. And so it was definitely good to be in these classes. I was on every single live. I was on video on every single live, and I've asked questions on every single live, because for one, we're paying for it, so why not get what you need to get, you know, for your money, get your money's worth. So anytime I had a question, Jayla and Keesha always answered the question, and whoever the guest speaker was, they always answered my questions as well, multiple questions if I had them. So they were really on top of that. So we talked about the YouTube algorithm and how to beat the YouTube algorithm. And again, for me, because I've taken Jayla classes before, it was kind of already information that I knew. But because, you know, as time go on and as trends go on and all this other type of stuff, I just feel as though I might have another question. But of course, they talked about hopping on the wave, hopping on the trends, whether it's with TikTok or with YouTube. Like, you just want to stay on top of the trends. For week 2, we got into thumbnails and Photoshop, and I don't have Photoshop. I didn't think it was a point to have Photoshop for me, because I'm like, why get something that Canva already does? But then Jayla kind of mentioned, you know, both whoever taught the class, I forgot who taught the class, it was another young lady. But I was just like, why should I go out and spend all this money on Photoshop when Canva does the same thing? And then with Jayla, she kind of gave me a different perspective. She was like, it's no different than when you first start editing on iMovie and Final Cut Pro. Like, if you go and do it. And I was just like, yeah, that makes sense. So I don't have Photoshop right now. I'm not in a rush to get it, but eventually I will get it. Probably when your girls start making some coins. Okay, when your girls start making some coins on all of this, then I will go in and start reinvesting. But right now I'm not about to go run and do Photoshop. It is good to learn and kind of see Photoshop and just kind of see how it operates, but I'm not about to go run and do it. So especially because it is costly, and if I'm spending that top dollar money on Photoshop, like I'm gonna sit down and actually take the time out to learn and research Photoshop. So I definitely will invest in that in the future. When it came to picking the girls for week 2, I kind of did feel like Keesha and Jayla was starting to get overwhelmed if they wasn't already, because this time when they chose the winners, Jayla didn't choose her winners. Keesha just chose 4 girls or whatever, and you can kind of tell that Keesha chose these girls because with the YouTube video, one girl posted about, you know, being a mother and all that type of stuff. Well, I think it was a Q&A about being a mother. I could be wrong, but I know it was mother related. Now, personally, I'm not a mother. As you guys can see, I'm a dog mom, which is why I relate more to Jayla. So it would have been more helpful if they kind of kept that same wave going of Keesha choosing her girls and Jayla choosing her girls, because of course they're gonna have two different influencers. Yes, they're very successful, but they still have 2 different lives. So it kind of, because it was so many girls in the class, when Keesha just chose her girls for the second week, it kind of took away from the rest of the girls. And like I said, it made me feel as though a lot of us, not just me, but a lot of the rest of us were being overlooked, because we are putting, again, we signed up, we paid our money for this class, so those who are active, we are putting in the work, you know, just as hard. And you know, to kind of get overlooked or not seen, it's kind of like, you know, of course I'm going to continue doing my content because I want to grow personally, but I'm also wanting to try to, you know, win the challenges, or at least see what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. I'm sorry, y'all, my phone fell. Hold on. So of course I want to, you know, see or at least get some feedback on what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. And as far as feedback and communication, I did, once Keesha said, you know, reach out to her and she can give us feedback on our YouTube and all that type of stuff, I would say that Keesha was very responsive. She was only as responsive as she could be, because again, it's 5,000 of us and there's only 2 of them. So stop stink. So I did write her, and I'll just show you guys, or no, I'm not going to show you guys. I'm just going to read to you guys what I sent her, because she was responsive. But I pretty much was like, hey Keesha girl, thank you so much for giving me great feedback for my YouTube channel, because I did ask her some YouTube questions as far as, you know, about my hauls doing well, how can I get my audience to, you know, like something else. So she did give me feedback live in the class, and so I thanked her for that. And I was like, I can't wait to implement the steps that you gave me, because she gave me a lot of good tips. And I was, you know, pretty much when it comes to brands, and I just asked her if she could give me some feedback for my Instagram page, because with my Instagram page, I'm a published model, so I have a lot of, majority of my content on my Instagram is high quality photos, because I do a lot of photo shoots with different photographers, whether it's a project for me or whether it's a project that they have for me. I'm always doing photo shoots. So I wanted to make or see what was going on with my Instagram, because I'm just like, you know, I just wanted to see if she had any extra pointers, or I don't know if some of my photos are a little bit racy for to be a influencer, because I do a lot of different projects. It's not just fashion. It's not just fashion content. I do a lot of lingerie. I do a lot of implied nude. Like, I just do a lot of different everything, and I don't want people to be confused on my content, because first and foremost, I'm a model. So I wanted to get some feedback on that, but because she's working with a lot of different girls, I mean, she just gave me the best feedback that she could, but she was just like, hey, I think your actual page looks so much better, because I did have YouTube stuff on there as well. So I know on the first live, they was just like, don't do that because it looked cheap. So I took all of that stuff off, and now I only promote my YouTube channel in my stories. And so she was like, you're so gorgeous, I think you should start reaching out to brands ASAP. So when she said that, I definitely took heed. It was definitely duly noted, and I had started that night, and I appreciated her feedback. And of course we chatted up a little bit after that, because I was telling her how I kind of struggle with communicating with brands, but you know, she did the best that she could as far as communication. And with Jayla, I did message Jayla because I wanted to get her feedback about YouTube, because of course, like, you have two powerful, successful women in the class. So with me, especially if I paid for something, y'all, I'm gonna take advantage. Like, I'm gonna take advantage of the opportunity that I have, because it's not like we can talk to these people every day and pick their brain. So while I have this 30 days, I'm gonna try my best, or not try my best, I am gonna do my best to reach out to these women and ask them what's going on with me, because essentially we want to be where they are. Like I said, these girls inspire me. I want to be successful just like them in my own little way. So with Jayla, I had reached out to her, and I was just like, Jayla, do you mind giving me feedback on my YouTube channel? I'm trying to be consistent, you know, 2 to 3 times a week. I try not to look at my analytics because it makes me depressed. With me, I rather fall in love with doing the content and just kind of let my analytics do what it do. But I still have to look at my analytics to see where I'm going wrong. But I did tell her that I wanted to fall in love with just making the content and editing. And I was like, I started taking Keesha advice as far as reaching out to brands, and I told her, you know, I did get turned down, but I am working with a few companies as well. And I was just like, I'm more so focused on trying to grow my audience, because I mean, hello, like, you can't do nothing without an audience, no matter what people say. Oh, it don't matter your followers. Yes, it do. Oh, it don't matter your... With me, I see right through that. Followers nowadays with social media, like, I hate to say it, I hate to be that person, but followers rule the world. Like, I'm sorry, like, if you don't have like K next to whatever, like, that's just, it is what it is. But with me, if I'm gonna have followers, I'm gonna want to grow them organically. I'm not paying for no followers. I'm not begging nobody to follow me. People who genuinely want to see me win and want to see me grow is the people that I want to follow me. I will make mention of it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, you guys. Support the dream, or, you know, and I have my content speak for itself. But as far as the follow, the unfollow, and all that type of stuff, I'd rather you just not follow me. And that's just me being honest. I want people who are genuine, strong supporters. Just like I'm a genuine, strong supporter for, you know, for people who I want to see win and who are relatable to me. So I reached out to Jayla and nothing. I didn't get no response. So I'm not sure how the dynamic of the mentorship was supposed to go. If Keesha was handling all the questions and Jayla just, you know, get on the lives and answer questions, because that's one thing that I will say. As far as Jayla's communication, she was jumping on them lives, and if you had a question, she was right there to answer it. But as far as DMing her, I think I had emailed her too, asking to see if she is asking questions, because for one, I wanted to go to both of these ladies and being able to ask my questions. But if the questions was just going to Keesha, or if Jayla wasn't taking no questions because she was handling the administrative work, it was kind of like, it was a gray area, because I didn't really know who to reach out to, because I know Keesha was like, well, y'all can reach out to both of us. Okay, well, I reached out to Jayla and I didn't hear anything besides crickets. But when we asked Jayla questions in the live, she was very, very, very responsive, because of course Keesha is a mom. So Keesha is going to be in the live, but she also has to be a mother. But you know what I mean? But I still, even outside of the live, I had additional questions, I think. Yeah, I still had additional questions for both ladies, so it was kind of unclear as to who we could really go to. Sit, stinky, stink. Stink, stink. Good boy. Good boy. But, so it just wasn't clear. And then I know that with Jayla, she was handling more of the administrative work. With Keesha, like as far as enrolling people in the classes and inviting people in the live and all that stuff, Jayla was more so handling the administrative work. But again, we have two mentors, so I want to be able to come to my mentors and be able to ask questions that are tailor-made for me, because I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong or whatever. I'm just trying to figure out what I got going on, what I need to change, and what have you. So the communication styles were very different. And then as far as week 2 challenge, of course, going into week 3, week 2 challenge was, we had to do photos, and we had to do photos again, we had to do a reel, and we had to do a YouTube video. YouTube already got it because I've been doing it. And then photos, you know, I had photos already ready to go. Here's another issue, and I don't mean to come off like I had issues, because I genuinely did enjoy the class. And this was another thing I was confused about, because the first week we talked about all this equipment we were supposed to get to be able to take photos ourselves, so I thought. But it was a girl who got chosen to, she, like, her pictures were really, really good, but they were all like, the photo that Keesha specifically pointed to was a professional photo. Now I thought for the challenges, as far as photos, they were going based off of what we took and edited ourselves. Again, I'm a model, so I have photos up the wazoo that I could have just posted and added an influencer hashtag and went on about my merry way. But because what I thought, and I could be wrong, I don't know, but I thought they was going based off of the photos we took ourselves, because essentially that's what influencers do. So the lines were kind of blurred for me, because I'm like, do I just upload my photos that I already have? And just, to me, it was kind of like, that what's the whole point of a challenge if the girls who are models or whatever, they can just upload a photo and add influencer hashtag and call it a day. And then you have girls who are actually going out. So like with me, like I said, I had plenty of photos I could have just picked on and just add the hashtag, but I actually went out into the world and sourced for a place to take my photos. And I actually went to like 3 different destinations for my for this photo with this hair, because for one I had to do it for a brand, and then for 2 I had to do it for the influencer glow up. So I had to go out and source for a destination, and I went out and I took different poses, and you know, taking my photos myself, came home, edited all on the same day that it was supposed to be due. And you know, just to see that people who are winning had professional photos that I could have already uploaded. So that was kind of like, well, dang, like I could have just stayed home and laid in the bed and just uploaded my photos from being my photographer, because I have a whole lot of professional photos that I kind of take my time uploading on my Instagram. So I'm not, so you know, each photo can kind of get their love and their shine, but it was kind of, you know what I mean? So that just was kind of like, okay. And I mean, it is what it is. But and sorry y'all, I don't mean to be all over the place. I'm just trying to get all of my thoughts and everything out, because I typically don't do videos like this, so it's no correct order. And I'm kind of giving you guys a play-by-play by each week and just how I was feeling each week. And this lighting is terrible. Hold on. So moving along, we talked about the YouTube algorithm, and then the next thing we talked about was thumbnails that get views. Now, I don't know how strong a week my thumbnails are, but I feel like I make some pretty good thumbnails. Now, do I make multiple thumbnails? No, I do not. But I will go back at the videos that I feel as though that didn't perform well. I don't mind going back and changing those thumbnails. But we did talk about thumbnails that get views. Again, on Photoshop, I make my thumbnails on Canva. First I edit my photos, and then I put it into Canva and do my thumbnails on that. And I'll kind of get an idea of how I want my thumbnails to look when I start piecing it together. And then of course they talked about the trends with thumbnails, how people are doing the 3 and 4 photos as well for thumbnails. But again, a lot of girls did not have Photoshop, so I wish they could have kind of showed us what to do on Canva. Maybe for 30 minutes show us what to do on Canva, and then on the next 30 minutes show us what to do on Photoshop, because majority of the people are using Canva. So it kind of would have helped to see both ways. But all in all, is good to kind of put that information in the back of your mind for when you want to use it later. Now I'm losing my week. I want to say week 3 we had to do, again, they kept up, they definitely kept us going with the photos, the reels, and the YouTube video. And then I want to say they ramped it up to 2 YouTube videos. And then the second, and I meant to say y'all, so the first week for the reel was the one that y'all saw. The second week for the reel, it was yeah, the second week for the reel was snatches, so which I did. And then the third week was of course a reel, 2 photos, and a YouTube video, or 2 YouTube videos. Y'all don't give me the line. But the mini vlog I didn't do personally, just because I didn't even, if I'm not doing nothing, I wasn't doing nothing exciting. And I know as a content creator you got to go out there and make that excitement, but I want to say I started getting really busy during that time. And then on top of that, like, I kind of felt like I was being overlooked. So by that time I kind of started losing my steam, and I just was just like, okay, well, I need to focus on what I really got going on, because I can't really, you know, I don't want to start doubting myself. So so I just kind of, I was still doing what I needed to do, but I wasn't so gung-ho on doing it. Oh, and I didn't mention, you guys, they did put us in groups based on like our business, and if we did YouTube and all this other type of stuff. They did put us in groups, and my group, we had a group on Instagram, and a lot of us, we chit-chatted for a little bit. But everybody's so busy, everybody got so much going on. It's like the communication is really hard. And so, you know, people kind of chit-chatted as they could, ask questions if they missed out on anything, but it was very limited communication in my group. But for the most part, like we just did the best that we could do. So y'all, I'm definitely losing track of all my weeks and stuff. I'm trying to go in order. I thought I was going in order, but I'm actually all over the place, so I do apologize. So one YouTube class we had was Mastering the YouTube SEO, Video Series, and Title Planning. So with this class, they pretty much was telling us like we have to be intentional with every single thing that we do. When it comes down to the using TubeBuddy and vidIQ and titling your videos and planning out your videos and using hashtags and using the description bar properly, which is everything that I've definitely researched as well. And I definitely make sure that my titles, my thumbnails, and my description bar is on point. I even make sure that my hashtags are on point. I even go look at other influencers, because with vidIQ you can look at other influencers' videos and kind of see what hashtags they use as well to make your video stronger. Because all in all, you want to make sure that you're on that wave of YouTube, and why not learn from other influencers who videos are strong, and who, once you type in, oh, how to do butterfly locks, if you type that in, the first video that you see, for one, I'm looking at how many views they got, and then I'm looking at what hashtags they use and how they titled their video, and then I kind of do my own little thing with my own little twist to it. So we talked about the importance of that. As far as the whole, and this was what I was trying to get into, you guys, like as far as the whole month, I felt like it was more Instagram and Reels based. Like it was just like they barely like talked about whose YouTube channel was doing good. Because on one of my videos that I posted during the class, my Facet Fine video, which I'll post the link up here, but y'all, that video got 10,000 views. 10,000 views, I want to say in 6 days. I was trying to figure out how to make the rest of my YouTube stronger, because shoot, if I can get 10,000 views on one video, I can get it on another and another and another. So I'm just trying to keep up that momentum. But and of course, like that's huge. Like I know one girl in the class, she talked about how she got 21,000 followers. That's huge. Like we want to show light on stuff like that, because that means your shit is going viral. Like that means that when I look at these numbers, that means that's literally, and it's not even just about the numbers, it's just crazy because there's a person behind the number. I don't know what the intentions was for watching it. That's not none of my business, but we want to be able to shine light on milestones like that, especially since we are all small creators. So I did feel like the class was geared more towards Instagram and Reels, which I mean, that's important, I get it, but YouTube is just as important, because like you're like, that's how I mean, I was gonna say that's how we get sponsorships and stuff. People get sponsorships on TikTok and all that type of stuff. I mean, you can make money across the board, but I just feel like with the Instagram and Reels, the class was really based on that. So that was another, like, I don't want to say con, but it was just more of something that I noticed about the class, that it was just so Instagram and Reels focused, where everything should have been the focus. How to create your media kit and pitch the brand. Now, everybody, we was all tuned in. I was I mean, because we was all struggling, you guys, and like, personally with me, you guys, it's a blessing because I am starting to work with brands. You gotta start somewhere. With me, I'm starting somewhere, and that's working with the brand. And of course, if you guys like my butterfly locks, I will put my code at the bottom for Toya Trust, because I'm telling you guys, these are freaking cute. I've been getting nothing but compliments. Ignore my baby hairs because they don't stay down. I was gonna try to make them stay down for this video because they look a mess. They look highly a mess, but it ain't gonna do nothing. But anyway, you guys, if you like my butterfly locks, definitely check out my code. You'll get 20% off. But yes, you guys, I am starting to work with brands, and as of right now, I have worked with 2 brands. I am working with another brand. I just signed a contract to work with another brand, so stay tuned for that. But as far as trying to get these brands to open up their wallets, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but again, like I said, people talk about, oh, we don't care about followers. Yes, you do. Shut up. Because yes, you do. Again, you got to start somewhere, and I mean, I'm working my way up the ladder. Like, the fact that brands are even cut it out, stink. The fact that brands are even considering me and looking at my work, and that I'm doing business with brands, I mean, that's already something that I manifested. So I think it's a blessing. But they definitely talked about our media kits and how important that was, and I jumped on how to make a media kit. Now, compared to all the other girls' media kits, because their media kits, come here, Stink. We're not doing that, Mommy, having a conversation. Now, compared to everybody else's media kit, their media kit looked like it was professionally made. Mine's need to be started over because it looked like trash. And so, but we did learn about media kits, and I thought that class was extremely helpful because it talked about what you should have on the media kit. Now, Jayla, she talked about some of the things that she did and did not have on her media kit, and Keesha talked about her media kit and what she did and did not have. And also, it was very important because she talked about her media kit and how her girls are a part of her brand. So I thought that was extremely helpful, especially for the ladies who do have children, and of course for us women who want to have children in the future, how we can incorporate our children into our media kits and into our brand. So that class was extremely helpful. And then also one of the guest speakers was Trey, and shout out to Trey because he slayed that girl's prom dress. But anyway, he's light on the techie side, so he was talking about how to actually construct a media kit. Now, some of the questions that we had was more so like for Jayla and Keesha, but as far as how to piece your media kit together, the importance of what you should have in your media kit, he did go over that, and it was extremely helpful. That class right there was very beneficial because it kind of, I mean, as far as your Instagram and your media kit, those are going to be like your resumes for your business. Like, if you're trying to be a social media influencer, you gotta have an Instagram. You gotta have a media kit. You can't have one without the other. Like, that's just, they all kind of go hand in hand. That's why with me, I really don't like reels, but I have to do reels or whatever. You gotta just fall in love with it. You just gotta. And so the media kit was very important to know, and I've been learning about media kits, but the fact that I actually put one together, and I took my time to put it together, but now I want to do it a whole nother different way. But I mean, your media kit is going to be forever changing, just as well as your resume. So I mean, I definitely have a rough draft, but having a media kit and actually seeing the other girls' media kits, I mean, you guys freaking blew my mind. We talked about pitching ourselves to brands and negotiating with brands and all that type of stuff, you guys. So like and then we talked about managers. Now so many girls had questions about a manager. Me personally, this is Born Empress LLC, and I manage Born Empress LLC, and I don't want nobody with a manager. Means they want coins, which means I have to give coins. I'm not worried about no damn manager, and I can tell you that right now, at least not right now. Now, I can't speak for what's going to happen in 5 years. I can't speak what's going to happen in a year. But that's exactly why Jayla and Keesha was like, listen, y'all got to learn how to do everything, even when it comes to pitching. And they showed us different ways on how to pitch and negotiating with brands. Like, you have to learn how to do everything, because even when you have a manager, like, it's different than having a manager and you at work, like someone just telling you what to do. No, that's not how it works in this industry. At least that's not how it's going to work in my industry, because if I'm paying you, that means you need to know how to do what I know how to do times 10. Because if I'm over here getting a bag for myself, I need you to give me a longer bag. I need you to give me a bigger bag. So with me personally, I can just say I'm not worried about a manager no time soon, because that means I gotta give you a piece of the pie. For me personally, I'm gonna get as far as I can on my own without a manager. And if I feel as though one is a good fit or whatever the case may be, then we can revisit this conversation. But all of my coins is going to Born Empress LLC. Like, trying to learn how to be my own manager. And so if I have to pitch to brands as if I'm in third person as a manager, then that's what I'm willing to do. But right now is no need for me to. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I can say that I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But all in all, was the class worth it to me? Yes, the class was definitely worth it. However, it did make me realize I want one-on-one. You have two very successful people who are running this class, and again, I admire them. And eventually one day I want to be where they are and teaching courses and stuff. So, and I feel as though what better way to learn to be successful besides the person that you look up to. Because a lot of people be like, oh, you can search that on Google, you ain't gotta pay. Yeah, I can search a lot of this on Google, but I want to know how she did it. I don't want to know about Google and all this other type of stuff. And not saying that I couldn't look it up on Google, but I want to know what she did to get to where she is. And Google not going to teach me that, because what she did is going to be different than what I can find on Google. And then I'm not going to know all the questions to ask on Google, but I want to know how she got there. Google can't tell me that. So it all depends on your mindset. It all depends on your ambition it all depends on, you know, where you want to see yourself. As far as wrapping up the mentorship program, we did have one last class, like I mentioned, on Tuesday, and they pretty much left us with some summer tips, some summer tips for content creating. They did go over the winners of the course, which them ladies, like, they killed it. I want to say it was 2 big winners, and then it was 3 runner-ups. So they're definitely, check them out. You guys go to Jayla and Keesha's Instagram and check these ladies out. Look at their work. As far as all the ladies who were winners, I mean, their reels were freaking awesome. Their reels were awesome. So definitely check them out. What I wanted to say is, because I've taken Jayla's course 3 times. This is my 3rd time taking a course with Jayla and my 1st time taking a course with Keesha. What I can say is, each and every time I took a course with Jayla, it has gotten better and better and better. Again, just like how we gotta learn, she gotta learn. She's in a whole nother different chapter, in a whole nother different season. Nothing's gonna be perfect, but every time she does something, it always get better and better and better. So thank you, Keesha and Jayla, for giving us this opportunity. I know you guys were overwhelmed. I know you guys is tired. But I thank y'all for taking 30 days out y'all day to help us as much as y'all could, to look at our content, to be able to give feedback, to be able to write us back, you know, as much as y'all could, and answering all of our questions, and just giving us this opportunity to pick y'all's brains. Again, I've been watching both of you ladies for the past 10 years. I grew up with you guys, and the fact that I could be face to face, like, these girls know who I am, like they laid eyes on my Instagram. And and shout out to Keesha for liking one of my photos. Let me show y'all. I was so excited that that Keesha liked one of my photos, because she didn't have to. And this was one of my photos that I took for the GlowUp challenge. And I don't know why I keep showing this to y'all on here. Maybe I'll do a screenshot. But Keesha did like my photo, which I thought was freaking awesome. As y'all can know, y'all can't see. I ain't even going to stress y'all. But shout out to Keesha for liking my photos. It meant so much to me, because, like I said, again, she didn't even have to do that. She could have just looked at my stuff and went on about her business. But I want to say again, thank you ladies, and congratulations to all the winners. And I will be seeing y'all the end of this month. And stay tuned to my YouTube channel, you guys. Anybody that is liking or watching this video, well, yeah, you want to like it too. But anybody who is watching this video, I have a treat for y'all at the end of the month. Well, throughout the month, but really the icing on the cake is going to be the end of the month. So definitely like, share, and subscribe, and join the family, you guys. I really appreciate it. I will post everything, Instagram photos and all that type of stuff, so y'all can see it. But you want to stay tuned to what I have in store for you guys at the end of this month. So thank you for having this little chit chat with me. I know I was all over the place. I'm gonna do better. I was tired. So I will see you guys in the next video. I love you guys. Bye.